In this video, I'm going to be talking to tenants about their experiences in communicating with their property managers and housing officers. We'll discuss their rights, responsibilities, and what supports are available to them. What are your top tips for communicating with your property manager or your housing officer?
Communicating early with your property manager or housing officer helps them to understand your situation, and it helps to build a good rapport.
I used to just jump right in and I used to get very emotional. So now I stop, I breathe, I take care of myself, then I contact the property manager or housing officer.
Because I have trouble remembering things, I like to use email to communicate with my property manager, and that gives me something to refer back to and includes the date and time of that conversation.
Because of constant staffing changes and I get frustrated repeating myself, I have my support worker communicate with my housing officer.
Sometimes for a younger person, it can be harder to speak up to an older person, so I really like to know my facts and prepare beforehand.
Younger people may not feel confident speaking to an older person, but if you are communicating with an adult, you're on equal terms.
Don't expect that everything will be fixed straight away, but don't give up. Keep records and have proof.
I don't like conflict. I like to rehearse with a friend or support worker to help me get to the point. Having a support worker with me makes me feel safer when I'm making a complaint. It feels like emotional support to me.
I do still struggle to speak up as I don't like conflict because I don't know how someone will react. So I like to take notes to prepare and talk it over with someone.
How do you find out about your rights and responsibilities as a tenant?
You can find out about your rights and responsibilities as a tenant through your lease agreement, which is covered by the Residential Tenancy Act. I had a dispute with my real estate agent, and I was able to look back onto my lease agreement, which mentioned my rights and responsibilities, and I was able to use that to protect me and resolve my dispute.
There are services out there that can help you understand your rights and responsibilities as a tenant. Circle Green have lawyers called tenant advocates, and there are disability advocates too.
What is an advocate and how can they help?
An advocate can help you to communicate your needs. They can help you to prepare letters and to speak to your property manager or your housing officer, and an advocate will only say what you want them to say.
When I contacted the advocate, it helped me feel like I was being heard, whereas before I was going around in circles and I felt like I was getting nowhere. They then connected me with other people in the community who were then able to help me with all the other services that I wasn't aware were available to myself.
Circle Green Community Legal is a community legal centre with tenant advocates. Call them on 6148 3636 between 9:30am and 3:30pm on weekdays. Ask about your local community legal centre by calling 6148 3636. Consumer Protection is a government department that helps tenants. They have a free advice line. You can get information or make a complaint about a landlord. Call them on 1300 304 054. Financial counsellors help you if you are finding it hard to pay the rent. They can help you come up with a plan and help you talk to the bank or your housing provider. This is a free service. Call the National Debt Helpline on 1800 007 007. People with Disabilities WA can provide you with individual advocacy or connect you to a local disability advocate. Call them on 9420 7279.
This project has been co-designed by people with lived experience of renting with disability, mental health and neurodiversity.